Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Motorcast. This is host Dave. I got online special guest, owner of the Drastic Plastic Nitro Fuel Altered, Tom Motry. Welcome on the show for the third time, Tom.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you back again for the third time.
Yeah, finally the weather's starting to get nicer. I'm getting excited.
So the car's all ready to go?
Yeah, it is. I got to update some of the safety stuff, but other than that, there's oil in it and everything. We go this weekend and they're going to put a new sticker on the chassis.
So you still got Tim Cullen driving, right?
Yes. We'll go out and do some practicing at Joliet. And our first race is going to be up in Canada at Grand Bend. And then I actually might stay up there. 2 weeks we go back and we go to Toronto. So we're going north this year. A little different, which is nice.
So you're doing how many races in Canada, 2?
Yeah. And then we come down, and I'm dealing with Cedar Rapids for the beginning of August. We don't have anything set in stone yet. Then we do the Classic here in August, the end of August, and then go to Union Grove for their Labor Day deal.
Oh, so you guys are coming back to Union Grove for Labor Day again?
Yeah, that's a done deal. He was talking about Memorial Day, but got so much stuff going on here that I've got 2 spare chassis now, spare rear ends. I got to start putting the stuff together. I got tons of work of parts just to assemble in that, so I got to stay focused.
So now, for last year, how'd the season go for you guys?
Good. It was a good season. We didn't break hardly anything. The worst thing I think we did was we broke a header up at Union Grove. I didn't realize, I guess I do kind of know, but usually these force headers are so overbuilt for what we do, but it had cracked bad enough that it actually got pushed down and scraped the track. It was like, that was pretty exciting.
And you guys went against Nitro Madness, right?
Yeah, that's what we were running next year there. So we put a different header on and raced the next day. But yeah, I'd never seen one do that. It was all twisted up. It was certainly ugly. So if you're not fast, be exciting. We were excited.
So how'd you do against Roger?
He's pretty much a 6.0 car. And Union Grove is tricky because they're not the best at grooming it. But it's not that kind of track. It's a track to go have fun. It was safe. Everything was clean. And they sprayed it. They did it. But not like Joliet where they drag it. And, oh, my God. I almost hate to go to Joliet because the track is so good. It's not real life when we go to these other tracks.
Right.
What we can do at Joliet, we can't necessarily do other places. But it's so close. How can I say no?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
So how did it feel to get back to Great Lakes Driveway last year?
Well, it was good. Yeah, it was all good. I couldn't believe Union Grove. I mean, we haven't been there in probably 15 years, and the people that remembered me and came up, it was nice. It was very nice. Good times.
Then how many events did you run last year total?
Let's see. We were supposed to go to Martin twice, but we got rained out of one, so we went there once, Eddiesville, Joliet, and Union Grove. So it's about the same. We're getting older. 4 or 5 races. I'll tell you what, the worst thing out of any of this, it's not even working on it. It's not the part. It's finding people that want to do this. None of the kids want to do this anymore. They don't want to get their hands dirty, for sure. And they figure they're worth $100 an hour if they're going to work on this thing. Well, that's not how this works for me. I can't afford to pay anybody. We don't make that much money. But nobody wants to come do it. That's my biggest dilemma, is finding crew people.
I'll do it.
So who is your crew currently right now?
Got Tim Cullen, and he'll bring one of his guys with from his dragster. Then I've got 2 Gregs, Greg 1 and Greg 2. and there's a Steve, and a new guy, Bob. He's not up to speed yet and stuff, so little by little, we're getting there. Realistically, 3 guys, tops 4, 3 guys can run the car. I mean, Coyle used to do it with the Chi-Town with 2 guys, him and the driver, so depends how hard I want to work. 2 guys can do it, no doubt about it.
Tom?
Yes?
Sonia.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm okay. I want to work on your car. Just teach me. I'll do it.
Well, I think your drive is probably too far. It would take you, an hour to get here or better?
Where are you at?
Joliet.
I'm down by Joliet.
That's fine. I don't care. We ain't that far. I have a car.
Yeah, it'd be asking too much. I need local guys, because there's times I need somebody, you got to do something hurried up, and I need to have them 10 minutes away that I can call up and get them to come and help me load it or take it out of the trailer or move this. That's what that's my biggest dilemma is a lot of the guys that I have now are 45 minutes to an hour away, and I need one guy that's from Lockport, Joliet, somewhere right here that could be here in 10 minutes. That's my biggest dilemma. I need to move a block or something. I can get it done, but it would just be so much easier if I had another set of hands. There's got to be somebody out here. I'll keep looking.
Yeah, so if there's anyone listening to this right now that lives there at Joliet, Lockport area, wants to be a crew member on Tom Motry's Drastic Plastic, there you go.
Yep, that'll do it. Taking applications. And I look at it like if you're on a softball team. We usually work Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sundays are kind of optional. And then when we go to the races, that's like going to the game. So if you're on a softball team, you practice, and then you go to the game. It's the same thing here.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I went to the college one year. I was really surprised. Lewis Joliet College, because it's an airplane college, and they have all kind of airplane mechanics there. And I put a sign up on the board, and I got 2 calls, and those are the perfect kids. They're off all summer. They're 18, 19, 20 years old. I got 2 calls. One kid, after we talked, wasn't interested. The other kid never showed up, so I think he did change his mind, too. It's just a new day. People aren't in the cars like they were. It's a shame. The 50s and 60s, I almost felt I was born too late. I kind of wish I was a teenager in the 50s, because that's when all the innovation, and you had to make everything, because you couldn't just call up somebody and say, send me one of those. You had to make it. That would be fun. Yeah. It was a lot more dangerous then, obviously, but I bet it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, Tom, that I didn't ask you before in an interview. For the Drastic Plastic, who's been the greatest competitor for the Drastic Plastic?
Well, probably the guy that I've raced the most over all the years was Mike Fazer with Chicago Fire. When IHRA started their Night of Fires, they hired us for 2 seasons and paid us really well. It was good, but we did have to travel down to South Carolina. I mean, it was a pretty big base of circle of how far we had to go. And then once they got them initiated and working, they went to cheaper cars. But I raced Mike a ton. I drove Mike's car years ago. He hurt his back, so I drove for him. Because in between back operations and that, there were times I didn't have a car. I've been hard on this body, so there's been some years I had to take off.
Yeah. So it looks like Buddy Hall's car's coming along, huh?
Yep, yeah, it is. Yeah, there's him. There's another guy that has a Force chassis, this Al Middendorf, and he drove for me probably 4 years ago now, maybe 5. And he's building one. He's out of St. Louis. So they're coming. They're just slow getting them done.
Now, have you ever raced against Frank Ousley's crop duster car?
Well, that sounds interesting. I guess it's going to be done this year, from the way Frank was talking. And it ought to be right there with this one as far as the motor and everything. So that could be interesting for sure.
Yeah. So now what?
He's a good guy.
So now for the funny car, what they got, a Toyota?
I don't even know, to tell you the truth.
I think it's a Toyota.
I know he's building an altered. I don't even know what he's putting on it, if it's just a bucket or...
Yeah. So now someone was asking me to ask you about the name Burner. What's up?
That's a Gary Dyer story. Back when I first got really interested in fast cars, I had a 73 Z28, small block 4-speed, just a regular Z28, and I put a supercharger on it. Normally obviously got it from Dyer, and we got to be talking and friends, and he hired me, and because I tried to run it way too hard, didn't know, I was just learning about all this stuff. I burned the pistons out of it, I don't know how many times. So he says, yep, that's it, you're the burner now. Burning pistons out on gasoline on the street. But Dyer set me up a Tommy Ivo owned blower, so it was all nylon, Teflon. It was regular. It wasn't a street blower. This was a race blower. And I drove it way too fast and, just trying to make it go faster. It would run, it was perfect for the street light racing, because the first 2 blocks, the thing was awesome. It was after that it would lean out because it just didn't have enough carburetor and fuel pump to keep it happy. So racing a block or 2, I'd whoop everybody. Go to the drag strip, that was a different story.
So does anyone still call you Burner to this day?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Austin Coyle does, Dyer does. There's a handful of old-timers that, some of them don't know my real name. That's all they know me by.
That's funny.
That's fine. It's all in good, good spirits. Dyer was real helpful with everything, and Austin obviously taught me everything, so he was very good. So, those guys, they're just good buddies.
Yeah. So now with the... Go ahead.
I'm just surprised Dyer still goes in every day, works till, I guess he starts at almost 6 or 5, works till 11, building blowers, and then goes home. And he's in his mid or late 70s. He's a tough old bird. He's like the Greek.
Now, the Drastic plastic car, do you ever take it to car shows at all?
I do, but not too much. Like I say, I got to save my crew people. Now that I don't know if you know, but I have a semi. It's not like loading a 5th-wheel trailer or, a horse trailer or whatever. It's got a lift gate, tailgate. You got to roll the car up on the tailgate, take it in. So I don't want to burn my crew out going to car shows. I want to save them for when we have races. So I don't go to a lot. Plus, it's actually hard to get that semi in a lot of the car shows. Like downtown Lockport has one. I'm not even sure where I would put the semi after I got the car out. It's changed doing car shows quite a bit from having a little. I almost need just a little tag trailer if I was going to do that.
Now, do you go to like the Nitro Night thing at Joliet?
I have, but we'll see this year. Again, to get the crew to take the time off, I'd rather save them for working on it or going to the race. Because it's almost, I guess I could do it myself, but it's really hard. This trailer was built for a dragster, so it really isn't the best for this altered, but it fits. It goes in there. But there's a crane in it. You roll the car in about halfway. You got to pick the front end up with the crane and then drive it in, and the front wheels sit on the benches to get it in far enough that the wheelie bar comes in. So it's a job. No doubt about it. It's a job.
Tom, how much does it cost to own a semi?
That one actually came out pretty cheap because I got it in California, and this guy had it custom built for him. So it's a true RV. Even though it's a semi, all the living quarters are in the tractor, not in the trailer. Like everybody puts their lounge and their living quarters in the trailer. Well, then you can't RV that truck because that truck is not an RV. Where this one, they put all the living quarters in the truck, and the trailer is just the trailer.
Wait.
So it's a true RV. My plates are like $104 a year, and the trailer plate's $10. I mean, it's very affordable, and being an RV versus a semi, the insurance is way cheaper too.
So, okay, what type is it? 18 foot, 22 foot?
What's that?
What type of semi is it?
It's a Kenworth. It's a
Kenworth.
89 Kenworth with a Cummins diesel in it.
Okay, but what
13
size?
speed.
Like how tall?
And it runs good.
How long?
How long and how tall is it?
It's 12 foot 6 inches, and that's the other thing. All these trailers you see going in, the actual through the whole country, the legal limit for an RV is 65 feet. This is 64 and a half.
Okay, well that's good. I seen those semis. I actually rode in one of those over the road in 2005.
Yeah. Yeah, they ride good, they pull good, the brakes are way better than these crew cabs and all that stuff. That was always scary with those. You get it up to speed, but when you had to stop it, it was a handful. So this one stops, it does everything. I mean, it was a good investment.
So how many tires does a semi have?
My tractor has 6, and my trailer has 2, 4, 8. They took an axle out of the tractor because we didn't need to have tandems. I'm not carrying that kind of weight.
Yeah.
You know, and it's got air ride suspension, so it's pretty smooth on the road. It's not bad.
So, if it happens, let's just say knock on wood, don't break down. But what if it happens to break down? Wouldn't it be expensive to fix it?
It will, yes. Yeah, it will. I do all the maintenance myself at this point, but, you know, if it needed something, but the good thing about diesels is they'll go a million miles without a problem, and I'm not exactly sure what this has on it, but it's not even close. You know, he had it custom built, and the guy, I think he raced 2 or 3 races a year is all he raced. So this thing sat, and he kept it inside, so it was definitely babied. It was a good deal.
Because I used to have you know the U-Haul moving trucks?
Yes.
I used to have a truck like that, and it was from U-Haul, but I bought it for like $3,000, and my dad did $7,000 work underneath the car. My dad's a mechanic, and we used that truck for 3 years for delivering. We worked with my aunts.
Okay.
What was it? A fruit store. She had like one of those grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of those Christian grocery stores. It was out in freaking Orland Park, Illinois. We used to work with them, and we used to do the deliveries like 6-7 times a day in that truck. But but then then something happened, and I had to end up selling my truck. Because I couldn't keep it around anymore, because I really didn't have no use for it.
No, that's true. Yeah, these things, if you change the oil, keep the filters clean and that, they last quite a while.
No, yeah, my dad took care of that. What you would call it?
Yeah.
The person that I sold my truck to, you know those people that ride the dirt bikes at Great Lakes Dragway that fly up in the air?
Yeah.
Those are the people that I sold it to.
Oh, wow.
The motorcycle dirt bikes that fly up in the air. Yeah.
Stunt bikes?
Yeah, stunt bikes.
Yeah, good deal.
They load up that truck with their stunt bikes.
Yeah.
Because it has a...
Yeah,
Because it has a platform. You pull it down, you could pull up the bike up on the platform.
There you go. Good deal.
A ramp.
For sure.
Ramp, sliding ramp.
Yeah.
So Dave, talk to him.
So now, Tom, when you do take the Drastic Plex to a car show, do you do cackle the car?
We will. It depends on if we're going to run it. Most times they're paying me something for coming out. Just to go display, it's one thing. But if I got to start it, it's probably $500 out of my pocket because of oil and the fuel we burn and everything. So they got to donate something, and then I'll start it. Sure. Yeah. We used to do the Berwyn car show, and we'd started twice there. I can't remember if they call it the Route 66. It's on Ogden, and they closed the street down and everything. Big show.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from, a Cicero, so that was a lot of fun. Got to see all my old cronies and everything, and we'd started up there, but they did pay me, to do it.
Remember back in the 90s when they had drag races there around that area? The people?
They started drag racing there in the 50s.
Yeah, I know.
We used to race along the train tracks there.
I used to go over there and watch people race their cars, their little Hondas or whatever.
Yeah, we got to know the police pretty good there, and I shouldn't probably say but they'd kind of turn their eyes away and let us do what we wanted to do. And when they thought enough was enough, they would just open the fire hydrant so you couldn't do anything. It was time to go home.
No.
So they were really good. They were good to deal with.
See, the police, when I was there, the police actually used to be the ones who say when to start. There was a cop that actually shot up a gun in the air and told you when to start.
Yeah.
Finish,
Yeah, when I first started fooling around in the mid-70s, we'd cruise up and down Ogden. We'd go over to Archer. We'd go up to Skips up on North Avenue. They raced on Costner. They raced over by the amphitheater. There was a lot of places back then. And now that I'm older and wiser, maybe, or just whatever, we were dangerous. Some of them cars were just way too fast for the street.
Oh, yeah.
They really were.
Dave?
So these days, is there still any illegal street racing going on these days, Tom?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't really look for it or anything, but I'm sure there is. The bad thing now is you go to Joliet Test and Tune, and these guys will drive their car there, put slicks on it, open the headers, and the thing will run in the sixes. It might be a 690, but that is way too fast to be racing on the street.
Oh, yeah.
It's a new day out there. Then, and I don't know if they still do it, they used to race on the Skyway. They would race for a mile to see who had the bigger top end. It wasn't about getting there, like drag racing from the dead stop. It was to see who could get it going the fastest, mile per hour.
Yeah.
So that was a little different. It was interesting, though. It was different.
We gotta drive over there, Dave.
Then I know they used to race for pinks too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Titles, right?
Yeah.
Pinks.
I kind of wish, again, like being a teenager in the 50s and that, they used to race inside the amphitheater, and you'd go from room to room through the doorways. That sounds almost scary.
The Twitter?
Yeah, Bob Marley?
Yes.
Yeah, he was talking about that inside drag racing amphitheater before.
Yeah.
Stanley Park?
No,
yeah, the views would get terrible in there talking to my buddies, and, you'd aim for the doorway, because that's where you're headed. You're going through the doorway, so, yeehaw.
Yeah.
Where's the amphitheater at?
That was in Chicago.
Yeah. Is it still there?
Yeah.
What street was the amphitheater? What was it on? I can't remember.
Is it still there?
No, the amphitheater's gone.
Oh, shit.
I thought you was pretty.
Yeah, I can't remember. it's been gone quite a while. You know, and I had a friend in Cicero owned a place called M&H Autocraft, and he worked for Dyer. He worked at Mr. Norm's. So races would come in town. They'd stop and visit. I mean, it was just neat. You never know who you'd see when you go by his shop, who would be there visiting.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? There's a lot of empty parking lots. There's a lot of empty land. We should do a GoFundMe and raise money to make a new dragway.
Well, that would be a good idea, but I'm terrible at raising money or finding sponsors or any of that stuff. I like working on them. I'm not good at going and chasing people for money.
Well, I can do that.
Yeah. That's a whole different side of racing.
Because I'm sure everybody in the world, everybody in Illinois would want to see a new racetrack very close to them.
Yeah. You know, I look at what Force has done through the years and with Austin, and, you know, I know John okay, you know, we're friends. The stuff that man goes through to get sponsors, it's, talk about a full-time job. That man stays busy. He's earned everything he's got.
So what do you think about the luck Force has been having lately?
They got a gremlin somewhere, and like he said at the race, Austin, Federley, and all the people at Forces, with that kind of mindset, they'll figure it out. It's something's going on, but they don't have their handle on it yet. But he'll be going out testing. He'll do whatever it takes to make it right. He's going to fix it. There's no doubt in my mind he'll fix it.
So what's the worst thing that ever happened with the Drastic plastic car throughout the years?
Probably the worst was when I crashed at South Carolina. I moved the concrete wall about 18 inches.
That's when you were driving?
Yeah, I hit pretty hard. It was like, whoa. I don't remember. I smoked the tires, I got it straightened out, and I hit the throttle, and that was it. I don't remember anything except waking up in the hospital. It was like, this isn't good. I know this isn't good. That was probably the worst experience. And I've got a video of it. The fuel tank exploded and everything else. It hit so hard.
Damn, fuel tank exploded. I remember my Jeep set on fire. After I had it for so long, finally the Jeep Grand Cherokee I had 4x4 red. Finally the engine is set up on fire. I'm like, you motherfucker.
I was driving for a guy out of California, and it was an alcohol car. We were at US 30.
Yeah.
And I pulled third gear, and it just real slowly, like, rolled over. I never got off the track or anything. I went through the lights on the roof and came back on all four and kind of steered it out in the grass. The body came off. It caught on fire. That one was pretty exciting.
Oh, shit. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I guess you got to be a little crazy.
Man,
but it's all in fun. That one, I mean, I waited for him to come and get me. There was nothing wrong with me. The car was pretty much destroyed, but South Carolina, yeah, I don't remember any of that one.
Man, if my 92 Chevy Beretta never got stolen, I would have turned that car into a race car.
Yeah, it's not a nice car.
The Chevy Beretta, 92, yeah, that was a nice car. The
Yeah.
red, oh yeah, it was a beautiful car, man. If it never got stolen, I would have flipped that around and turned it into a little race car.
I had a rear-engine funny car for a while.
Yeah?
And we took it out in Hodgkins to practice just on the street.
Yeah?
And I got burned in that one, so I sold that car. We never ran it. There was issues going on with that one.
Man, my plans for my Beretta, I was going to put a big skull on the front of it, and I was going to write Kitty on the front of the windshield. Kitty?
Right.
Huh?
That sounds good.
It was going to be Skull Kitty racing car. and I was going to get nice-ass tires, and I was going to put a nice firm engine in it with, like, so many horsepowers and drag race that shit. That's what I want to do, but can't afford anything right now, so kind of stuck.
This stuff all costs too much money anymore. It's crazy. They're even talking, there could be a nitro shortage this year. We'll see where that ends up going. Hopefully not.
But doesn't nitro get made out of oil?
The original nitro was made out of crude oil. The new stuff that everybody's running is actually a synthetic. And it's actually it's pure. It's actually better than it was when it was made out of crude.
Okay,
but it's
so synthetic. Explain synthetic to me. What's synthetic?
Yes, it's synthetic and it's 99.9% pure, which the stuff we used to get that was made from crude wasn't that pure. So this is a much better fuel. But like everything, prices going up. Hopefully we can get it. That's the biggest dilemma, being able to get it.
So in terms of synthetic, my car right now, it takes synthetic oil only. So synthetic. Explain terms in nitro synthetic. What is nitro synthetic? What does synthetic mean for nitro?
It means that it's just they figured out what chemicals are in like the crude oil.
Yeah.
And they assimilate it. They don't use crude oil.
Oh, okay.
Synthetic is man-made versus from the ground or however else.
Okay.
Which, the synthetic oils of today are very good oils. They've lowered the viscosity of them, and they seem to lubricate well. They work. They're more expensive, obviously, because it's harder to make because you're not refining from the crude. You have to actually make everything for it. But it's good stuff.
Yeah, like the oil for my cars costs $35, fuckers.
I know, that stuff's expensive.
I'm like, you motherfuckers.
No doubt about it.
There's a cheap one, there's a $16 one, but I won't trust the cheap one.
Well, if it's synthetic, I wouldn't be afraid to do that.
Nah, it's a cheap brand, though. It's a cheap name brand. I don't trust the cheap shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, do you have any racing schedules for this year?
Do I have any what?
He's doing Canada twice.
You're doing Canada twice.
Joliet.
Joliet.
I still didn't understand you. I'm sorry.
No, me and Dave were talking.
Nah, she was asking your schedule. I was telling her you're doing Canada, two races in Canada.
You're doing Joliet.
Yes.
You're doing Joliet. You're doing Labor Day weekend at Union Grove.
Labor Day weekend.
Correct.
That's in September?
Was there any other events besides those four?
Well, there's that Cedar Falls that's up in the air. We don't know yet. That'll be the beginning of August. The Joliet race is the end of August. And the first Grand End is Father's Day in Canada. And then the second one is 4th of July weekend. So I got a little bit of breathing space here at the beginning of the summer to get
Great Lakes Fast.
crew and get everything set up, and which is good.
Yeah.
Don't want to start too early.
We'll see you in Joliet and then Great Lakes.
Do we do what now?
We'll see you in Joliet and Great Lakes Dragway. We'll see you both places.
Yeah. Sounds good. And like I say, once the weather breaks and they get some cars down the track, I would think the end of April, beginning of May, we'll probably go out and do some practicing on Fridays or whatever the test and tune night is.
My car drives now, so it's all good.
You do your test and tune at Route 66, right?
Yes. Yeah, usually I'll coordinate with them like a week before, and I think they put it on the website that we're going to go to the test and tune and practice. So if you watch their website, I think that would be the easiest way to know when we're going to be there.
Okay, or you can just give me a text message, let me know if you're going to be test and tuning up
Well,
there.
that too. I can do that too.
Yeah. So now the when people that are listening want to find the schedule, they could just go on the Drastic Plastic Racing page, right, on Facebook?
Give me a couple weeks to get everything done, and yeah, I will update it then. I want to try to get this one at Cedar Falls before I put the schedule on, but I can put most of it on there now. Give me a week or two, and it'll be on the Facebook page, no doubt about it.
Now, how about your personal Facebook page? You put anything on there?
No, I don't. It's all Drastic Plastic.
Yeah, you don't even have a profile picture on your Facebook page.
No. It's not about me. It's about the car.
Yeah. So Tom, I want to thank you for your Thank you again for the third time being on our show.
No problem.
We love you.
It's always a pleasure talking to you.
I love you.
You betcha. You too.
I love Drastic Plastic. Yeah.
Thanks. I'm glad you do.
It's a very beautiful car.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if you love big header flames and you're listening to the show right now, go out and watch the Drastic Plastic if you love big header flames.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, we do.
That on video, man. That was awesome.
Cause that fuel tanker, how many gallons does that thing hold?
We burn about 12 to 13 for a run.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of fuel.
It depends how long we're on the starting line. It'll go up to 15. It's only an 18-gallon tank, so we can't dilly-dally too much.
Yeah.
So now, but like John Lawson and Joe Haas, they're funny cars. What, they got about the same size fuel tank or a little small? Yeah.
Yeah, they had the same power plant as I do.
So each race would cost you like $200-300 just for the fuel.
Oh no, it's probably more than that. Fuel.
The fuck?
Just went up again. It's $11.50 a drum. I think that comes out to about 21 gallons or $21 a gallon. So it's like $250 just for the fuel to $300, and then we warm it up in the pits before we go to the starting line. We usually use 5 or 6 gallons there. So to make a run safely, figure 20 gallons. So it's probably $400.
Fuck!
And then we have to throw the fuel or the oil away after the run because it gets so polluted. And that's 3 gallons of oil. So it's yeah, keeping this thing happy is cost of money sometimes.
That's a lot of money, man. You gotta have a money tree to be in your backyard for that shit. I need a money tree. Dave, go find me a money tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
So is Tim going to be doing any racing with his dragster?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he's going to Bowling Green Father's Day weekend.
Bowling Green?
And I think Troy Martin's going to drive my car up in Grand Penn is the way it's looking right now.
We go there. The car will make it to Kentucky.
How about in Memorial Day weekend? Is he going to run the dragster up there?
He's thinking about it. I know he'll bring it. Whether there'll be time that we can run it, I would hope so. But I know he'll bring it for sure.
Yeah. Cause I know last year we saw him running up there at Memorial Day weekend.
Do what now?
I said last year we saw Tim running up there Memorial Day weekend at Great Lakes.
Right. I just sad that it rained on Saturday. I would have liked to run Saturday and Sunday, but hopefully this year we will.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for your time, Tom.
No problem.
We'll have you again probably next year.
Sounds good.
So, you have a good night, Tom.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.